Alright y'all, what's up? Been a minute since I made a little video. I went motoing last week, sold my pit bike and my YZ 450 and bought a 2020 CRF 450. Yeah, you can see that right there. It's okay. Don't be scared. But yeah, that's dope. Just been super busy. I'm right in the middle of the train horn install, but my radiator's leaking, and it's been leaking for a long ass time, and I don't drive the truck, so I'm gonna go ahead and fix that because in a couple weeks I need to go pick up my new wheels from TIS. Yeah, I'm a Dropstar guy, but if you guys don't know, Dropstar and TIS are the same company, or owned by the same people. So I'm gonna go ahead and upgrade. In my book, an upgrade means bigger. So you guys probably already know what's in the works. But let's have a look at the truck now. Well, there she is in all of her grandpa glory. The stock wheels, those came with the truck when I bought it. But radiator is leaking, so there we are. Yeah, it was a kind of a rusty mess. It's not the worst I've ever seen, but yeah, so there's the old guy. It was just split, like right there on the seam. And that's the coolant. Yeah, that's the coolant that came out of it. So here we go right here. Yeah, that's gonna go in here. That is a IDI diesel, so we're gonna have to cut the core support and then lower it down, make some brackets, do something cool. But aside from the wheels, Thunder Customs was kind enough to send me, they're a new company, so they sent me one of their tips. And there she is. It's an 8-inch octagon. Thing's pretty badass. Yeah, I can make them myself, but if a company wants to send me some stuff, and all they wanted was an honest opinion on it, and honestly, I think it's great. I examined the welds. I saw no issues there. It's made out of adequately thick steel, and it fit good, looks good, square. Saratoga prismatic powder. Saratoga blue, sorry, but really no complaints in any way, shape, or form. If you're in the market for a tip, you should check them out. But yeah, so this is gonna interrupt this video is gonna come before the train horn video, just because I want to slide it in there. I didn't really want to document much of it, but I figured I might as well, since that's the theme. See, condenser, probably gonna need some little brackets, you know, because the core support is gonna have to come down like 5 inches because this is an IDI radiator, so it's not a direct fit. I bought this because of the Cummins swap. So I did some size comparisons of a stock Power Stroke, a stock IDI, stock Cummins 12 valve radiators, the surface area, and thickness, size, all that. I already did all the mathematics, and the IDI is actually larger than the Cummins, slightly smaller than the Power Stroke, but they're all within, I want to say, 20 cubic inches. So that's not even a big deal at all, especially because this is a 3-row aluminum radiator. And yeah, I figured why do work twice? You know, that's what I like to do, is do it once, do it right. So I'm gonna do this. And I am going to have to make a custom lower radiator hose. I don't even know how it's going to mount. I'm just going to put it in there and see what works and make something nice. I know the Cummins is actually a longer engine, so it's going to stick way closer to the radiator, which has me a little nervous because I don't want to push everything forward. Like the AC condenser, all that shit, I don't want to push it forward because it's too much work. So when I do the Cummins swap, if I have to clearance the trans tunnel, it is what it is, you know. Definitely not going to use electric fans So I guess we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. All right, so basically I just kind of measured the radiator, measured the core support, and made a cut. I just cut it there, and I'm gonna hit it right there. Same thing on this side, there, over, and then I'll just build a piece that drops it 5 inches lower. And yeah, we'll figure out how it's gonna mount, or you know, bolt to the core support. All right, so there's the core support cut out. So I've never seen an IDI core support in person, so I'm assuming they have something that just sits around the end tank, kind of like a Power Stroke. So I guess I just got to sit here and think about it for a little bit, how I want to do this. This should be easy. I'll just get some steel and do like a triangle and then have it come up, and then I probably might drill and tap it, put like 3 1/4-inch nuts in there so it's a removable lower. I don't know why, it might just be easier, but yeah, so there it is. I'm gonna clean it up before I start working on it because it's unacceptable to have dirty hands like this. Alright, so this is a 95 OBS, and look how well this thing cleaned up. This is the battery side, so granted there's probably some battery shit that spilled on here, but it's still a super solid piece of metal. I painted this black when I got it, so with the new bumper, because you can see it, I wanted it all black. But I've seen some of y'all's core supports. They look like shit. Some of them are rotted and falling apart, and this is a desert truck through and through. What do y'all core supports look like? Bet they don't look like this. Well, yeah, they're probably still on the truck, but yeah. Alright guys, so I'm running out of daylight, but you saw the core support. It's cleaned up real nice. And whenever you mess with a radiator, sorry, let's get a better angle. Whenever you mess with especially brand new radiators, if you're not just bolting them in, I highly suggest to cover them with cardboard. If not, you're gonna mess up all those fins on that nice new radiator. So this is gonna be the AC condenser side, so I'll go ahead and tape that up. I really wanted to put one right here. You can see I've already got a couple just from it kicking around my garage. Not a big deal, don't really care, but if you can avoid it, that's the best way to do it. So I think I'm just gonna clean up, put the core support, all this stuff in the garage, and see if I can do a little tomorrow. All right, y'all, back at it again today. Got the radiator all taped up with the cardboard. Kind of set some stuff up. Getting an idea of what I'm gonna do is the hardest thing. The mounts, I'm gonna build the top mounts first. Or they're honestly just to locate it side to side, but with a little something underneath, they'll be fine with the radiator dry to hold it while I mock up the lower cross member and however I decide to mount it. So let's see. The factory core support has a little thing right here, so I'm assuming that's where the normal cap would sit. And then it has these little cutouts too. I'm assuming it's probably in the same stamp for the IDI, so maybe there's just not some mounting holes right here, but it just so happens 33 inches from that bracket to center of this, same deal over here, so that's gonna work out great. I marked center on the core support, center on the radiator. Probably this aftermarket radiator, so it's moved over a little bit, so probably gonna have to clearance this out. But the next question lies, how high should this be? And I started looking, obviously from the fitment underneath, or the clearance, I'm gonna want it as high as I possibly can. So if you shut that, I don't know if you guys can see, there's gonna be plenty of room to move this up as much as I need. All right, so got a little piece of cardboard, and I'm going to show you what this is what I'm thinking. This is going to attach to the core support. This is the factory hole for the radiator right there, factory bolt. So I want it flush. There's a little lip right here, so I'm going to cut this back and over, and then I'm going to take a piece of like 120 8-inch flat stock, do this, put a little bend in there, and I'm going to try and use that stock hole right there for that one bolt. And then this, I'll drill it, and then I don't know, I'll figure out what I'm gonna do. I could put nuts on the bottom side, because this will probably never come off once and then something like this. Granted, this piece is way too big. I just cut it to see what I'm working with. But yeah, you kind of get the idea. Alright, I got the brackets on. I threw the radiator up in them right there, and I'd like to get the radiator up as far as I can. Also, the end tanks on that thing, they're huge, so this being down low, it doesn't really do anything. You want the fins to get the air. It doesn't matter if this gets air. So if I can bring it a little higher and then get more airflow, well, that's the idea. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim the core support. This is also going to help me when I put the 12 valve in, because the 12 valve is going to push pretty far up, and this is a real thick radiator. So trying to think ahead and still make it work right now. There it is. We'll be powder coating these black, and probably gonna just hit this with some Scotch-Brite and do like a little brushed aluminum look. Radiator shroud, no fucking idea. I think I have a couple laying around from old projects. I might see if one fits better than another, or I might just put the 461 back in there and then just make some aluminum, because the 461 is shorter. So I might just center it up on the fan and then make a block off plate on the bottom and top if it needs it. I don't even think it'll matter, to be honest. The lower radiator hose, from there to there, it ain't gonna be too bad. I think the factory one would almost reach. The only downfall is the factory one is 1 3/4 inch and the radiator is 2 inch. So not quite sure what I'm gonna do yet. Lots of options, so I guess I just need to see pretty much what parts I have, what I can make work. Maybe I'll have to order some stuff up. We'll see. I don't really want to weld on this radiator, only because this is kind of a temporary deal. Once the Cummins is in here, I have no problem welding an elbow on there or doing whatever I need to do to make that work. But this is only temporary, so that will be done not so permanent as far as welding and but yeah. For a radiator bracket, I think that looks pretty nice. Deciding how I want the lower part of the radiator to sit. It looks like there's a little hook that something like this would probably fit. It would just slip on, and then a bolt goes through this that bolts to the core support. This looks like the best bet. I found this. I had at one point probably 30 of these, and now I can only find one. So this is going to work perfect. So I need to make another one. So that's the hard part. This is what we're gonna do here. You can see I got some thick rubber and some hole saws. So I'm gonna attempt to recreate something similar to this. So let's do it. So there it is. I think that'll work just fine. Shit does make a mess, but that's what the shop bag's for. I put rivnuts in the cross member. Let me show you. You can see these are just rivet nuts. Since I cut it, the cross member will be removable. And then there was like a little flange right here that was preventing me from moving the radiator even closer or even more this way. So I cut that off on both sides. Let's see. There's those riv nuts. And then there's that piece cut. And here is the bracket. It's just 1/8 inch. I had to notch it for the for these little bushings to fit in here on that hole. I actually need to move this hole. I need to slot it so I can kind of play with how the radiator sits up and down, and then also backwards and forwards, because I want it to sit nice in the engine bay and have it look, you know, somewhat factory. But here's the Rivnut Kit. It's just a cheapie off Amazon. Gets the job done, that's for sure. So stock cross member, and then I just made these. It's kind of down and dirty and it doesn't look that great, but I'll paint it up and it'll look just fine. And then I will be making a lower radiator hose. I'll just end up trimming this up, you know, to like probably right there, doing that, and then just using a piece of 1 3/4 hose to join this and the factory hose back together. Should be pretty straightforward. I might need to do a little upper radiator hose joined with this, because I think the angles are a little funky. So I might be able to take 2 of the angles from the upper hose, add some of this in, and I will be powder coating the outside of this tube, my upper radiator brackets, and then this probably won't fit in my powder coat oven. So I'm just gonna spray it with some gloss black. So here's the 460 fan shroud. You can see how much larger the IDI radiator is. It's huge. Here's my radiator hoses. My radiator hoses. I'm gonna weld beads on them, like circular beads. I have a bead roller, but it doesn't do that thick of material. So if you do a nice weld around there, it'll hold those radiator hoses on pretty nice. I have this piece of aluminum scrap. You know, it's scrap because this side goes all the way and then this one is a little short. So I'll add a little piece, you know, right there to cover the whole core, and then right there I'm going to bend it up and then just self-tapper it here and then have it bolt there as well. So the front fits nice and flush, and then it kind of steps up, so that'll be bent up and connected, and this will go all the way around, you know, and it'll be bolted to the edge right here. And so this will sit like that. I'm gonna mark it out and trim it. All right, fucking finally, 3 braces for the AC support. These are my tubes for the radiator hoses, and I got the fan shroud. Oh, I think is okay. Everything's blocked off. You know, this isn't gonna bother me. It's honestly just all self-tappered to the frame, which I don't know if you guys use self-tappers, but they are the shit. It only bolts on 2 places up top on that side, 1 down here, 1 down here, and 2 right there, because this still needs to be removable for me to get the radiator in and then put this on. I don't want to take the fan off every time. Yeah, I don't know, I already fucked some fins up. Kind of don't care, it's taking way too fucking long. Getting pretty burnt out on it. Alright, here we are 6 weeks later, whatever it might be. Tired of dealing with this radiator, and it looks like it is about finished. Got it in. I'm gonna flush it with distilled water, get it nice and hot, get all that shitty coolant out of there as well, drain it, and then fill it with some extended life red coolant. It's just what I have on hand. I got like 5 gallons of it, so that'll work nice. Came out pretty good. It was definitely more trouble than it's probably worth. But here, I'll show you guys some pictures, let you be the judges. So there we go. It definitely does hang a little lower. But you can see here my little brackets I made for the AC condenser. Those are those ones that put a bead roll on there. And I am going to put the valance, or the air dam, whatever you want to call it, that goes right here. Let's get back here and look. There's the lower radiator hose. There's a better picture of it right there. Sorry. Better picture of it. It's a little dusty and dirty, but y'all get the idea. Should be pretty good. That shroud definitely looks better. Put some little holes in there. I don't know, not that they really matter, but kind of looks cool. So let's go up top and see. There's my brackets. Fan shroud. That fan fits perfectly center in that. I'm pretty happy with the way that came out. Connects to the 460 overflow. There's still plenty of room because the way the hood, yeah, the hood's dirty, don't worry about it. It'll be okay. Everybody wants everything perfect right now. There's the custom upper radiator hose. It's just the stock one, cut and spliced, and yeah, it's gonna work just fine for now, because when I put the 12 valve in, I'm just gonna have to make new ones. So, but yeah, there she is. And if you guys didn't know, this grill insert, I say insert because this is the insert. This is your plastic grill shell. Y'all need to differentiate the two. This is an insert, this is a grill shell. I'm going to be selling inserts for you guys to put into your grill shell. If you want me to do it, it's going to be extra, but the new design, this grill insert is going to be a little larger, and it's going to go all the way around. So what that's going to do is make the cutting of this plastic super easy. It's just going to be a few holes here, cut the whole inside out, a few holes. But I digress onto this. This video is about the radiator, so I'll make a whole little video on that. I sent everything to the CNC plasma cutter guys, so they're gonna make me a CAD file, and they're gonna make me 2. One is gonna be custom for me that no one else can buy, and then the other ones are gonna be replicas of this exactly. So that's to come. Look out for that video. Probably only gonna sell or start off with a 5 grill order, like a pre-order type deal. Everybody paid in full, and then I'll bust out 5 grills, see how they do. If they do well, I'll make more. If they don't, I won't. So price, I'm looking at $850 or so per insert. I know it's not for everybody, but it's not meant for everybody. So yeah, there's this. I'm gonna go have some lunch, let the water drain in there a little more, and come back out, fire it up, maybe mess with that air dam down there. What's up, Coco? What's up? So yeah,